stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars driving fast. I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems. Let me. When I've been magic with the gang, we ball out. It can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On third down, Brissett. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Lions will take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Easy, alert. Let's go.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Mike 37, 6-man.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd.
Go.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left,
more football
early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. Catch made here by Campbell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
And we go 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Hey, 5-0.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And this is caught inside the 5. That one goes for 30 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
218, chop it. Watch out.
On second down now, it's Grant. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They run the draw play with Mack, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'd go ahead and punt the football myself.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Watch the run. Check nickel. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Set up.
They'll run for it. It's Mack. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Lady! And middle. Alert!
On first down, Stafford here. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
And as Weathers, you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Watch the screen. Monday. Like 7. Let's go. Hey, we got
From the gun, here's Stafford. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along.
Now a hit and a loose football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And the Colts first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Good yardage there for the Colts, 18 and a first down. First down, Colts. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I think in normal situations, most play callers would probably shelve that play in this situation. But down in the red zone, got a little something extra to play with. I like the way that he took a shot and went after it.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
On first down at Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. So it's first and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Patch it. Rerun. 59. 53. Hey, Alpha. Check 53.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
21. 70. Hey, Foxtrot.
Now it's Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Brissett. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally.
He's got a man, complete, 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, 77 yards. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. He goes 105 yards on the kick return as his guys are able to regain the lead.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want him to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make the play on the football.
Here's Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That one complete to Wilkins, the running back. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Let's go. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On 1st down, it's Mack. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Hey! 5-7.
On 2nd and 9. Stafford. That's complete to his running back, Grant. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Malik Hooker. Then they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Ready. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Check safety. Let's go. Come on.
They'll run on first down. Matt. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll go again here with Matt.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Play fake. Set. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
2 yards. First down, Colts.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're on to the fourth here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First down. It's Mack. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Marlon Mack. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 23.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A first throw for the backup, Jackson. He completes it to Jones. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Set, ready. Hey, Reed. Cook, Reed. Set. What's up? 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. We got to get the ball. D, get the ball.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big play there for the Lions. 57 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Step, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Tyree Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything in the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Extra point good by Prater. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Complete to Jones. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, come on. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Hey, we're going 30 seconds. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Jackson on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Mike 37. Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here. And we're going 37's the Mike. Hey. Hey. Hey,
To try again after the sack. Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. Past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch, counter punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
A gain of 3, second down. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They go right back to Mack. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
He's coming. We got double up.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. One last shot for Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Caught by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.